Speaking of, I couldn't think of a transition quickly enough.
Speaking of getting screwed.
Yeah. Oh.
NFL draft. There is one person, and everybody knows I'm a big sports fan.
Cinema.
Shedeur Sanders, man. I'm a Browns fan. You can see the little Browns dartboard in the background. Born and raised in Cleveland. Unfortunately, that means I'm a Cleveland sports fan. It doesn't always go my way, and to be more specific, it never goes my way. But Shedeur Sanders fell to the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round. I'm not sure exactly what pick he was, but he was in the high hundreds.
144.
He was projected at one point to possibly go to the Browns with the 2nd pick. And at one point, people thought maybe he could go number 1 overall. He drops all the way to the 5th round. I've been watching sports for 25 years. I've been paying attention to college football, the NFL, watching the NFL draft for just as many years. I have truly never seen anything like what happened. Quick, Shedeur.
I can't even fathom it. Look, I'm an SEC guy, so I went to the greatest university in the country, Louisiana State University. Go Tigers. But I'm an SEC guy, so seeing Jalen Milroe go off the board in round 3 and Shedeur is still out there, come on.
Seeing Tyler I don't even know how to say his last name, the NC State quarterback.
Get me started on that, because the Saints freaking drafted this fool. And then they were going to pay Derek Carr again. He saved the Saints franchise by retiring. Are you kidding me? He's either the worst half-decent quarterback ever in the history, or he's the best worst quarterback. Derek Carr, I said this when the Saints signed him over Jameis Winston, just keeping him. I was like, they're screwed. Mickey Loomis, get out of town, buddy. Nobody wants you here. Nobody. We already got rid of the coach. We got rid of that terrible quarterback. All right. Now it's time to get rid of the GM. That has to come next. This guy is a lunatic. I don't think. I'm not even an NFL fan like that. I'm an LSU fan, and this shit gets me hot. I swear to God. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. We drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. He's a decent quarterback, but he's also like my height. I think he might be shorter than me.
I think he is. I think you're absolutely right.
And he was decent in college. Like, he won a bunch of games, but there's nothing in terms of projecting him to the NFL that you're going to be like, oh yeah. If you blindly just look at resumes and physical attributes, you would take Shedeur each time well ahead of Gabriel. I have no idea what was going on. And even funnier was when the Browns drafted him, they cut over to the war room in Cleveland, showing what they were doing when they drafted him. Everybody looked pissed off. Very clear that the owner came in and said, hey, you're drafting this guy. I don't care that you took another quarterback. Our quarterback room is ridiculous. We've got Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Deshaun Watson.
Bello, how do you feel about this?
So,
yeah, Bello, all your NFL knowledge. Come on, bring it out.
Give us a synopsis of how you're looking at this situation.
Yes, football. Yeah. Game, yes. A man in college, yes. I've heard this name. No, to all our fans, I am not a huge football guy. I care about some sports. Football is just not my jam. So this is a great opportunity. Explain to me, because I have a rough idea. I know Shedeur. I know he's obviously the son of Deion Sanders. But, what are the theories? Why wouldn't someone bet? I can't wrap my head around that. Is it an issue of, you mentioned earlier, the drama around his dad? What drama? What would cause this?
The rumor is that he, really, didn't care about his interviews. He didn't throw at his pro day, I think.
Yep.
Also, just to give everybody an idea of how much Bello knows about football, can we cut to the clip of Bello?
Oh my God!
Thinking that the jersey getting covered back up was actually them unretiring.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That is.
Didn't they revoke his retiring of his jersey?
No way.
They did not revoke that.
Dion would be like, I'm fucking out of here.
I saw a video of people covering up something with a sheet.
That was just the video.
That was probably the video in reverse.
That was just the video in reverse, Bello.
Oh my God!
All right,
I can't believe it.
His
I heard he had some
pre-draft
interviews. Yeah,
were so bad that apparently the Browns and NFL are threatening to sue anyone that releases any footage or any clips from his interviews because they were that bad.
Jeez.
Damn. Do we feel this was a Shedeur issue? Like this is something that they didn't like Shedeur? Or is it a general statement from the NFL saying, if you come in here and do this shit, we're not tolerating it anymore?
I think it's a bit of both.
I think it's a lot of that. Honestly, I do think it's a lot of saying you are not above this entire league. Like you're kind of going to be made an example here. And I mean, he was it was a public humiliation because he had full on draft party at his house. He had cameras.
Damn, get fucked.
All these he had all these things. Yeah. And I think it was a full on you're not going to do this. You're going to be made an example of. This is a sign to future players coming out that have made a lot of money in NIL. Hey, just because you've made a lot of money and you were good in college doesn't mean that you can come in and act like you're above everything else, which I think is kind of bullshit. Listen, he is a marketable brand. Yep. He can do things that other players that are not like that can't do. And, whether it be fair or not, that's just the reality of what it is. He is a very marketable person. He's made a great brand for himself in terms of making money. I think you should be able to kind of flex that and be like, yeah, I can do this. I still want to be a guy in the league, but I'm not going to do this whole horse and pony show for you guys just because that's what you quote unquote have to do to get drafted or have to do. You have to be humble in these moments. I kind of like when my players are a little bit of an asshole. They're a little bit cocky. I think that makes some players better when they play. I think it's just what he is. And if he can back it up, that's one thing. And he'll make a lot of people look really dumb. If he can't back it up and he's not good in the NFL, a lot of people are going to point to it and say, yep, we were right. You were wrong. Future kids, look at this.
I'm going to relate this to a sport I do know and love, golf. And I just want to get your guys' takes on it. So it seems like he kind of went and shook things up and they shit on him for it. That's my general understanding, is that they did not like how he entered the NFL, how he wanted to enter the NFL. Almost like a nepotism type thing, element to it as well.
Again, there's just so much changing in the world of college football and the world of the NFL and just athletes in general. You're going to start to see more and more of this where kids are making a ton of money when they're in college, and a lot of them are choosing to stay in college because of that. They don't need to necessarily go pro, and they're actually going to be making more in college than they would when they get their first rookie contract. So it's going to be interesting to see what everything looks like in the coming years with all of that, because Arch Manning is probably going to be making $5 million this year at Texas. That's what it is. Cam Ward made a ton of money because he decided to not go to the draft 2 years ago, went back to Miami, made $3 to $4 million, and then raised his draft stock, and now is the first pick. The whole landscape has changed.
Yeah, the NFL is gonna have to get used to drafting players who don't need to get drafted right away. Like, I think the whole thing with Shedeur is like also like after he gets drafted in the 5th round, he's out with $1 million in cash in a clear briefcase, and he's like in the club throwing it around with celebrities. Like, I think I think the NFL has gotten really used to it, and it's why I supported the NIL stuff with college so heavily, is because like everybody got used to like all these people who just needed the money. You can kind of do whatever because they're like, asking people if their moms are prostitutes in NFL interviews and stuff. Real story.
What?
That happened to an LSU player way back when. But
Damn.
yeah, like they could do whatever because they like needed the money. They're like, you want to get your mom that house, don't you? Sign the dotted line. Like, and now they're like, oh, snap, this kid is coming in with, $10 million in the bank. Oh, maybe he's not going to take a bunch of shit from people now. And I think that it's an establishment. They don't want you to come in and bust up their control regime, especially the owners. I think the owners more than the NFL are kind of disliked widely because they just do whatever they want.
NFL owners have notoriously been hated on for a while, and it'll just be interesting to see how it all changes.